And that's the only people that should really buy this, is deaf people. Rich deaf people. Guys, it is here. It took freaking 5 weeks for this. Man, this thing's noisy. It took freaking 5 weeks for this thing to come in the mail. Gosh, it was like snail mail for reals. But it's here and we are going to review it. Before we get into review, quick disclaimer. I paid for this thing with my own freaking money. So there's no bias. I'm strictly reviewing this thing based on the fact that I spent $60 on this thing. Jsaux is not paying me. No one's paying me. This is a review on whether or not this is a good product and if it's worth $60. In my previous video, I've been getting comments saying that I am a Jsaux hater. That is the furthest thing from the truth. If anyone should want to be a Jsaux fan, it should be me, the consumer, the guy that spent his own money on it. It should be me that cares. So to say that I'm a hater or biased is stupid. That is stupid. I'm gonna call you guys out. That is stupid. I'm sorry you don't like the information I'm giving you. Maybe my delivery is wrong. Maybe you don't like my personality. But to say that I'm a hater because I am critical of a product by a company whose main objective is to sell you a product is freaking insane. Their job is to sell you a product worth the price you're paying. And if you don't believe that it's worth the price you're paying, you should be critical. You should be a good consumer and be critical of companies that you don't believe that give you the value that you're paying for a product. So my reviews from the beginning, from now until the future, will always be based on the value the product gives versus the price you paid for the product. So there is no biases except for, am I getting what I paid for? Now let's get into this thing. First impressions. Exterior packaging, pretty nice. Obviously we got a little bit of a ding up here. That's okay. That's okay. This thing came from China. Find us. Find us what? Like, I should say follow us. All right. Connect more power. This is a pretty big freaking box. This box is 16.5 inches. It's a big freaking box. It's cellophane wrapped, which is nice. The last box it had packing tape as its sealant, so this is a big upgrade. Box itself, nothing, very bland. I'm assuming they're using this box for a multitude of their products so that they could save money on packaging, which makes sense. You know, there's different models of this. There's the cooler and then there's the full kit and you get a whole bunch of stuff. This thing is dented though. Okay, elite accessory for Steam Deck. Okay, cool. So this is just the other outer shell. All right, here's the cooling fan for the Steam Deck. Here we go. This is the thing that we you saw our last video. We were trying to make something similar to this. It was this thing. It was the exhaust fan 2.0, which did not cool our Steam Deck, but I really enjoyed, you know, the inventing of this and the application. And a viewer told me it was what we were doing is known as the Bernoulli something. I'm gonna brutalize it. It's called the Bernoulli process. Pretty cool stuff, fun science stuff. Fortunately, it didn't work very well, but I'm very happy just to have been able to make it and tinker with it. All right, so okay, they did the tape thing again. So one thing I did notice, and some people have said, that it is actually like nice tape, not packing tape, and clearly it is nicer tape. But why is it so crooked? All right, why is it so crooked? Like seriously, come on, y'all. Parallel with the box line. Come on, Jsaux. Before we get in this, it's this attention to detail that drives me crazy. If you're going to charge X amount of money, do not care about crooked packing tape. How can you, like, this is the easiest thing to do. Put tape on a box. How hard is that? So if you don't have the capacity to do this in a manner that is detailed, how can I expect you to do the same for your product? I'm just saying, maybe they use a different company to do it. I don't know. All I know is it annoys me. Okay.
So Sorry for the quick video break. This is your boy Nas, aka DIY Poppy. Just not the hands. If you haven't seen my face, this is what I look like. The hands behind the face, behind the hands, or hands behind, whatever. Quick break in the video just to let you know that I'm doing a challenge for subscribers. I'm hoeing myself out for subs, but the thing I'm hoeing out for is pull-ups. Meaning, for every sub I get, I'm gonna do a pull-up. Standards of the pull-up, all strict. If you wanna see your boy just get wrecked, go ahead and hit that sub, share this video with a friend, tell them to hit the sub. This is gonna get nasty. I'm gonna really regret this, but I'm gonna do it as long as I can for y'all. Appreciate it, love ya. Now let's get back to the video.
Bada bing, bada boom. So I don't really know what's gonna be coming in here. I know we get a case. Oh wow. So right here is it's a dock. Fancy. We can use that for the testing. So this is a rubber dock. So it's a rubber mold dock. It says Jsaux on it, and that's where a Steam Deck goes in. It's extremely flimsy. Very flimsy. And it stinks. It smells like actually it doesn't smell bad. It smells like a marker. This is kinda let's look at this. Look at this thing. That's not so far. I'm not seeing $60. Alright, so this is like the main part right here. This is the mod case itself. So, ooh, okay. Okay, this is a metal. This is metal. Alright, so we got our manual. I never read those things. And here comes the mod case. Okay. So this is the mod case itself. I didn't know it came with this front cover, which is pretty cool considering you get it with it, and it's pretty nice. It's molded plastic, scratches pretty easily. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, it scratches pretty easily. That's not awesome. There's this screen protector here. I didn't expect to get one of these. That's pretty cool. What is up with this molding here? You see this? The molding there. I don't know, it's weird. But that's pretty cool. Oh my god, this thing stinks. Oh, it's the box. It's not this. It's the box. Okay, so look, an Apple Watch. So this thing comes with an Apple Watch, clearly. Oh yeah, it's bigger than my watch. No, I think this is the thing that straps on the back so you can like hold things, which I think is pretty cool. It is literally an Apple Watch band. It feels like pretty decent material. Hardened plastic, rubber. It's not bad. So I think this is to hold dongles or a battery. And here is the mod case itself. So this fits over your Steam Deck, and this thing right here attaches to here, and it wraps around. I can already see an issue with this. And you like put a battery bank or a dongle on this. Here's an issue. The cooler, I know for a fact, slides onto this. So you can only choose one. Okay, so this is the only metal thing here. This is a kickstand. It's a metal kickstand. Looks like it's this. You slide up or down. It looks like it slides upward. Slides up here, and it's a kickstand. Pretty cool. Okay, so let's look at the overall build quality. This seems to be almost the same material on the Jsaux Backplate. Seems look good. Overall, not bad. Is it $60 good? I don't know. I don't think so. But it's, you know, it comes with quite a bit of stuff, so it's not too bad so far. Actually, no. This thing is pretty scratch resistant. I am very big fan of this kickstand, though. The fact that it's metal. Is it scratch easy? I'm just using my finger now. No, it looks pretty good. Paint's pretty good. Decent. This hinge seems somewhat durable, but I can see this thing possibly breaking over time, but I think it's pretty durable though. But alright, so let's go into the main part. Let's talk about this Jsaux cooling fan. Alright, this is the reason why I spent $60, was just this dang thing. 6,000 RPMs, alright, 3 watts, 2,000 milliamp battery, so there's a battery with this, and it weighs 123 grams. Alright, so packaging in this is pretty trash. Everything is just kind of shoved into this box. Let's look at this cable. USB-A to USB-C. Nice rubber material. It's pretty long cable too. Wow, this is long. Well, it's almost a 5-foot cable. That's pretty good. This is pretty cool right here. I was actually looking at buying one of these, and they kind of saved me money from buying one of these. And I think they sell those independently. It's a right angle adapter for USB-C. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. Enough of the bull crap. Look at the fan. Okay, dokie. All right. This is the fan. This is a sticky material for the fan. I think this is a adhesive tape, so we're gonna not put that. Oh yeah, this thing comes off. Forgot about that. We actually don't need to use this if we don't need it. So this thing is actually for people that didn't buy this case, because the original case will lock into there. That's why I was saying earlier that you can't do both. So it has to be one or the other. Before we turn this thing on, I want to take a look at this fan. And ultimately, what we see here is this is, in fact, a suction fan. Okay, so it's pulling air. Okay, so it is suction. So what this is a blower fan, blower style fan that is pulling all of its air from here. So I had a viewer in the last video. He described exactly this. So basically what this thing is basically the same thing as this thing, except for, you see how the intakes, they look kind of familiar? See that? See how familiar they look? This is actually a lot bigger fan. This is like what, 80 mil? So basically this is like that, and it's acting as an intake fan. So it's all the way inside here, and it's acting, this blower here is acting as an intake, and it's shooting air out the top. That's exactly what this thing doing. So hot air goes in through here, this fan sucks it up and pushes out at the top. So it's accelerating. It's basically suction in a way. There obviously are better principles in suction, and this fan is literally double the size of this fan. Even though they spin at the same speed, since the fan blades are larger on this fan, it will spin more air. All right, let's turn this thing on, see how it sounds. Okay, so first click. Okay, it's pretty loud. So I'm going to do a dB. So I'm going to do room noise first. Room noise is about 32. This is at the lowest setting. (51 dB at the lowest setting. Wow, this thing is louder than the stock fan on the freaking Steam Deck already. Okay, that's full. Okay, how many turns is that? Okay, 1, 2, 3. So 3 turns is full. So we're gonna go 1.5. So this is gonna be half. Call it 57. All right, we're gonna do full crank. 62 dBs. It's actually louder. We should probably have done the testing in this manner, this orientation. So we'll just take it at 62 dBs. We'll do another noise test when we're on the Steam Deck. Wow, so this is loud. Okay, this is very, very loud. This is extremely loud. You're definitely gonna need headphones for this. All right, guys, so let's get into the Steam Deck. Okay, so what we have going on here is we do have our mod case. Real quick, for full disclosure, we have the Jsaux backplate on here. Just in case you don't have this backplate, your temperature readings may vary, especially if you don't have the thermal pad mod. Here's the big problem already. We have the upgraded back buttons on the Jsaux backplate, and it doesn't fit on the case of the company that makes it. So they made these buttons, made this case, and the case does not fit over their own design buttons. It does not fit whatsoever. This is what I was talking about, attention to detail. This is why I was a stickler about the tape. This is attention to detail. Clearly, no one was paying attention. And if they did, and they knew about it, they didn't care enough to do anything about it. So, if you buy this backplate, if you buy this mod case and you have the Jsaux backplate, you're not going to be able to use your upgraded buttons. This is freaking ridiculous, Jsaux. This is so stupid. This is oh my god, this is aggravating to me. This is extremely aggravating. Not only because you're charging $60 for this and you charge $30, so this is a $90 total already. You can't even use your own freaking buttons for it. Oh my god, what a dumpster fire. Oh yeah, I'm a Jsaux hater. No, I'm a hater of bad freaking products. This is a bad product. This is very bad design. This is why I'm a stickler for detail, y'all. Scary pulling this thing out too. This is not a thing you want to take on and off regularly. Okay, so before we can do anything, we have to take these buttons off. Okay, so for this testing, we are going to remove the thermal pad in the back of the Steam Deck Jsaux backplate, because I do not have a stock backplate anymore. So I'm going to try to make this a stock backplate. We're also going to remove the thermal pads behind here. I don't know about you, but I think this is ridiculous that this doesn't fit. These buttons don't fit in their own freaking case. Only reason I bought this backplate was for these buttons, and I can't even use it with their stupid thing. Okay, so if you fast forward, we removed our thermal pads on our heat pipe, and we also removed the thermal pad on the backplate right here. The fact that it doesn't fit with its own buttons is a freaking big problem to me. Huge problem. Let alone this thing is 62 dBs. This thing is loud. And if you're an OG member, you know the whole reason I started doing this was to make my Steam Deck quieter. That was the whole reason behind it. The whole reason was to make this thing quieter. Guys, remember, always to double check these two screws to make sure they're on tight. They're very important to keeping your Steam Deck system cool overall, because these are the ones that kind of hold the heat shield down. So, this should fit. It feels not bad. This actually feels good. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like this. Especially because the seam on this Jsaux backplate sucks, and I hate how it feels in my palm. I just don't like that palm feeling. I don't really like this either. But the palm is nice, but this I don't like. So we're playing Witcher 3. We're on ultra settings. The seam on this thing is not great. Look at this. Look how flimsy this is. Look at this. That's fine and all, but we're just going to put a cooler there. You want to keep this gasket really tight. We're going to clog the vent hole, like right here. Do not do this at home. It is not good for your Steam Deck to heat up very quickly like that. But good news is, at least one of their buttons fit here. The ones I like, the only reason I have the Jsaux backplate, don't fit, so that's awesome. But I will say this the way it feels in hand feels kind of nice now. I'm not gonna lie, especially because it's probably because I hated that little crease there from the backplate, but it feels kind of nice now. All right, so we're gonna let this thing heat up to around 84, 85. I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit. Room temp is 22 Celsius, 22. All right, so as we're at 82, 81, we're just gonna let this thing cool down on its own. If you're just playing this Steam Deck for 10 minutes or using these things for a 10-minute test, you're not really doing the product any justice. You're not really doing your viewers any justice. You need to stress the system. We're gonna leave this counter right here. I didn't even tell you guys, this thing feels kind of cheap. Very plasticky. I wish they kind of made it out of metal. That would have been nice. Or just, look at this thing. It's a fingerprint magnet. It feels cheap. I can't believe I wasted my money on this. But I did it for you guys. Did it for the content. Oh yeah, one thing too. There is no gasket here. It was designed for here, so this rubber acts like a gasket. So this thing is just a much bigger fan. This is a 40 mil fan. I'm an 80 mil fan in here. It's a blower. This is just a blower style fan. You can make your own one of these for, if you don't need a battery bank and a speed controller, you could make one of these really cheap. Probably under $10. Probably less than that. I've already designed this thing. I was freaking right the whole time, except I used the wrong kind of fan. It's freaking A. All right, so we're going to just go ahead and take it at 78 with a fan speed of 5100, dB of 43. If you don't have this fan on and you plug it in, your temperatures are going to jump up like crazy because you're basically suffocating the stock fan now. We're going to just turn it on at its lowest setting. So the dB's at 46. We'll call it at 75. So that's a pretty decent delta. It's only 3 degrees, you know, $60 for 3 degrees. Are you crazy? Okay, we'll give it 75, 74, 75. Fan speed, well, stock fan speed has dropped, but remember, this thing is super loud. All right, so we're going to go 1.5 turns for medium. I was really hoping for a better result right now. We are at 73, so a delta of 5. Oh my God, this is terrible. All right, so we're going to give it at 72, 72 for medium. Fan speed 4100. Yeah. Okay, we're going to go full tilt now. God, this thing is loud. One thing we noticed real quick off the bat, we've only been on for about 90 seconds. Our fan speed has dropped considerably. It's 3,500 RPMs. But what's the point of your fan speed dropping when this thing is freaking 55 dBs? So I will be hoping for a delta of 10. For $60 for this amount of noise, a delta of 10, it should be the minimum. Delta of 10 should be the minimum. Guys, for this money, you could do a lot of things that are a lot more quieter and have better results than this freaking thing. You could spend so little money. You could do a thermal pad mod. It's literally gonna cost you maybe 15 bucks. You could cut a hole in your Steam Deck and do that, still $15. You cut a hole in your Steam Deck, you automatically get a delta of 5. You add a copper plate, you get even a better delta. You get a delta of 7. That's cheap. Fan speed's at 3,800, so it's near unaudible. So I am seeing 68 now. It looks like it will probably hold 68. We can for sure say at the very minimum, you put this thing at full tilt, I'm gonna give it 68. So minus 10. All right, I gotta turn this freaking behemoth off. This thing is so loud.
What's up, guys? This is Editing Nas here. We're here because the audio was not picking up the Jsaux noise, and I want you guys to be able to hear it with some decent audio. So I'm going to use the audio on my camera, which is my iPhone 13. These were the headphones I bought on Amazon. They're actually not bad, but for some reason, these are not picking up the noise. Maybe there's some type of background noise canceling with this, so it's not hearing the slow drone of this fan. But I figured I'd do a test with good audio right now. And we're going to start off by just turning this thing on low setting, which is just on. 32 is kind of the room noise. That's low. Then we'll turn it to medium. That was at 45 dB. This is medium right here, about 51, 52 dB, and this is full tilt. I don't know if this is going to do it justice. This thing is freaking loud.
Let's get into the downloads. Welcome to the downloads, y'all. We have a lot to talk about. But before we get into that, I first of all want to thank everyone that watched this video from the beginning till now, till this moment. I really appreciate that. Helps me out a lot with the algorithm and things like that. And if you're the homie and you just left it on the background and you left to do some chores or something, or maybe play your Steam Deck, appreciate that too. Hey, giving you guys ideas. Thank you. But for those that kind of skipped ahead, It's all good. No worries. But we got a lot to unpack here. So I think the first thing we need to talk about is this a $60 value? No, it's not. It's not a $60 value whatsoever. I think it's closer to a $50 value, which is the advertised price right now. You do get the cover, and the kickstand is quite nice. I'm not gonna lie, I like the kickstand. I feel more comfortable at a value of $40. So $39.99 I think is a value I can wrap my head around. If you're paying full price, $59.99, you're getting ripped off. Even $49.99. I actually think I paid $49.99 now I think about it. There's one review. It's 5 stars. We're gonna give this thing a review at the end of this video. We're gonna give it 2 stars. It's not a 1 star, but it would have been a 3 star if the freaking buttons fit in this back case. The freaking buttons they sell. The reason why I bought the Jsaux Backplate was for those buttons. Doesn't fit in this freaking case. And that's why they're gonna get a 2 star and not a 3 star. Almost want to give them a 1 star, but that's not fair. 1 star is not fair. The product does what it's supposed to do. The build quality is in the middle. There's some nice quality stuff, and there's some really crappy quality stuff. Okay, so let's go talk the meat and potatoes. Let's talk about overall temperatures. All right, so in a room temperature of 22 degrees, we had a just stock running, no fans, just sitting in a case, 78 on the GPU and the CPU, fan speed 5100, and a dB of 43, which was the stock fan. The mod case fan was installed at low. It was 74, 75, a delta of 3 to 4, and the fan speed of 4400 with a decibel reading of 45. So we went up 2 decibels, but I will say it was audibly louder. That it was pretty freaking loud. This thing was pretty loud at low settings. Fan speed's irrelevant at this point, to be honest, because it's super loud, so it doesn't really matter, but we'll keep it going for the testing. Medium setting, so it was a turn and a half. 72, 72, so we saw a delta of 6 across the board, same room temp, by the way. 4100 RPMs on the fan, and a freaking screeching decibel of 51. I mean, you're gonna hear this over your freaking headphones, unless they're noise canceling or they're in ears, and you still might be able to kind of hear it in ears. But definitely if you have just like earbuds from, like, let's say your Apple iPhone earbuds, you're gonna hear this freaking fan. It is freaking loud, and anybody around you is gonna hear it. So never gonna be rocking this thing around my wife. Okay, and when it is on high, so it's complete full turns, roughly big 2 full turns, it is a delta of, which is, I think is great, considering I didn't think it was going to do it, is 68, 68 on both the CPU, GPU, fan speed of 3500, I think that's what I wrote, and an ear-shattering 55 decibels. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're in the room with this thing, it is a loud freaking fan. It is so freaking loud. It is, the vacuum cleaner was 62 decibels, I think. This thing is 55. It's only off by 7 decibels. This thing is ear-screechingly loud. Oh, but we still got a delta of 10. So if you do not care about noise, you got some really good Sennheiser noise canceling over-ear headphones, or maybe some AirPods Pro noise canceling. Well, I don't think they'll noise cancel if you hook them up to a Steam Deck, but yeah, then it's fine. It's fine. Like, if you don't care about fan noise, it's not bad. It's actually 10 degrees delta. It's actually a really good delta in all aspects. It's a good delta. 10 degrees is a fair amount of delta. Is it the 18 degrees that did they change it? Nope, still on there. Up to 18 degrees Celsius cooler? No, it's not even close. Even a Peltier couldn't get to these temps with their Jsaux backplate. It could get it if you attach it directly to the heat shield, But this is why I was saying this is a bold-faced lie. Really try not to sound like a Jsaux hater. I'm just pissed that I spent $50 on this thing. And it's in my opinion, it's not that great. But let's talk about some nice things, all right? Let's not try to be a complete basher. And the reason why we're giving it some stars versus no stars is I do like the fit and feel of this. I could care less about this backplate. I mean, this face cover. I do like the fit in the hand. It doesn't feel super bulky. Cover it's nice. It doesn't scratch very easily, and it does come with a front cover, which is cool. If you need that, I don't really need it, and it has the Apple Watch. It's not an Apple Watch. It's meant to hold. But the big thing is, man, that freaking, which is not the same one in the picture actually. They actually send you a different one from the one in the picture. Right angle USB-C adapter. It's great. That's a pretty big thing. But is it $50 worth or $60 what they're saying it's going to be the retail value? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think if you just sold this thing as like the cover with the kickstand and you sold it for about like $25, I think that would be a decent price, you know? I think some other companies actually sell something like that. $50 though, man. $50. Gonna be a big no for me. There's no value. There's no $50 value in there for me. And the big stinger, the stinger. If you have this backplate, you cannot use, I don't think you can use any of these larger buttons. For sure you can use this one, but I don't think you can use the nicer buttons. The reason why people buy this backplate, I don't think you're gonna be able to use these buttons. It's heartbreaking. It's just like, come on. So overall, what I say, I guess the real question is should you buy this? Value for this. Yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard. I'm trying to not be so irate about it. Guys, there's just better options. I guess that's the way out there. But if money has no bearing on your decision making and you're like, forget it, I can buy both of them. I can buy this and the case. I don't even care. Buy it. Spend your money however you want. But if you're a conscious consumer, there are just better options. If you're very penny pinching, or, you know, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard out there in the streets. You know, inflation, recession, all that jumbo, that doesn't matter. Price of food's going up. Price of gas is going up. Things are getting tighter. Energy costs is coming up. Everyone's gonna tighten up the ship. If you're in that place, or you just like to be a conscious buyer and a better consumer, ventilation mod with a thermal pad mod is the way to go. It's the cheapest and most effective mod out there. You don't have any add-ons to your Steam Deck. You don't have to do really very much except for cut a hole, and you just get all-around better performance for next to nothing, and it's just the way to go. So, but I guess we got to do one for the middle road, people in the middle. If you're in the middle, if you can spend the money and not to break the bank, and I think we have to split this one in two ways. If you're a tinkerer, meaning you don't mind getting your hands a little dirty, being a little bit risk-taking with your Steam Deck, remember any mod could void and damage your Steam Deck. You got to remember that, you know, any type of modification, especially the thermal pad mod and things like that, or cutting a ventilation hole, you know, that I don't know if it's gonna exactly void your warranty. I haven't looked that up, but I'm just saying you gotta understand there's risk. There's risk to everything, and risk to this too. Kind of like where I'm at. This is where I'm at. I can spend the money, it won't hurt me too much. We split it up two ways. If you like to tinker, you shouldn't buy this. Meaning, if you like to put in the work, do some modifications to it, spend a little bit of money on thermal pads, maybe a fan, maybe you already have a 3D printer, or maybe you know someone that has a 3D printer you could use, things like that. I would definitely not 100% not buy this. You're just going to get better results somewhere else, and it's just going to be cheaper overall, and you're going to have a little bit of fun doing it. Again, middle rung, not a tinkerer whatsoever. It scares you. If you're in that field, I suggest going this route, because you can get the backplate and you can just buy a cheap fan on Amazon, a magnetic fan, and then just put it on there. You're gonna get just as good a cooling solution. Maybe not the -10, probably close to a -4 to 8, but you're not gonna deal with the noise whatsoever. You're just not going to deal with the noise. I think that's the big thing. I think a lot of you don't understand how loud that actually is. It's very, very loud. you definitely couldn't play game audio. So you can spend the money. You don't like to tinker. I suggest you go with the backplate. Go with the Jsaux Backplate. Buy a fan on Amazon. Stick that bad boy on there. You're gonna get better. This is gonna be your best bang for your buck. This thing is just a big, big no because of that damn freaking noise. It is so noisy. It is unconscious, can't think in my own head noisy. So that's it. If money is no object and noise is not a problem, buy this thing. If money is a problem, don't buy this thing. Do not waste your money on it. There are better options out there. If you're in the middle run, meaning you can spend the money, but you like to tinker, don't buy this thing. Do what I just said, Jsaux Backplate, or with a external fan, or better yet, cut a ventilation hole in your Steam Deck, put thermal pads, even cheaper. That works amazingly good. And if you want to do an external fan as well, adding on top of that for another $5 to $10, that's even better. You'll get another 4 delta closer to this. No, you're not the 10, but you'll get a closer delta. Just a lot better options out there. And middle of the rung, money's no option. Money's not that tight. Can't tinker. I still wouldn't recommend this because this still is a better option because it's quieter overall. And when I say this, remember you have to add an external fan, which you can get, and you still probably would spend a lot less than this whole thing, and it'd be quieter. So really, if the only reason why you should buy this is if you don't care about money and if you don't care about noise. That's it. Spend your money on this if you don't care about money, or the money's not an issue, and you don't care about the noise. And that's the only people that should really buy this, is deaf people. Rich deaf people. But other than that, guys, this is a long video. I already know it is going to be extremely long. But I just want to say thank you for watching it. If you watched it from the beginning, I really appreciate it. If you liked it, hit that like. If you loved it, hit that subscribe. Remember, we're still doing that pull-up challenge. So the more subscribers we get, the more freaking pull-ups I have to do. I have to do nearly 100 right now. Also, want to really help out the channel, visit us at DIYpoppy.net. I don't have the shirt on. It's pretty hot up here right now. But it is the nicest. A couple of our viewers have gotten it, and they all have said it is a very nice quality shirt. It really is a nice quality shirt. That's at DIYpoppy.net. We are, I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing. I'm going to try to make this thing quieter. I don't even know. I don't even want to deal with this thing. I'm so let down by it, by it's so loud. It's so loud. But really, guys, I really thank you for all the support. In the past month, we're nearing that 1,000 subscribers, which is my real ultimate goal. I want to hit that 1,000 subs, not only because we get monetized, but it was a milestone I made for myself. Let's get to 1,000. Let's get to 1,000, and then we go from there. And everyone that's been part of that journey, I really appreciate it. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's been fun. It's been a fun ride, and I want to keep doing this for as long as I physically possibly can because I'm having too much goddamn fun. Did I swear a lot in this video? Having too much fun. But before I get more long-winded, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you on the next one.